Some people don't fall in love calmly. They fall in love anxiously. Their heart races. Their thoughts spiral. They feel restless, alert, almost on edge. And they call this love. But what they're really feeling is something they learned long before relationships ever began. Anxiety. This is the story of people who confuse anxiety with love. Not because they're broken, but because their nervous system learned it. That closeness always comes with fear. What this love feels like. For these people, love doesn't feel peaceful. It feels urgent, intense, overwhelming. They constantly think about the other person. They replay conversations. They analyze tone, timing, silence. A delayed reply feels painful. Distance feels threatening. And certainty feels unbearable. They don't feel safe when things are stable. They feel alive when something feels wrong. And when they finally get reassurance, it doesn't last. Because calm feels unfamiliar. And unfamiliar feels unsafe. Why anxiety can feel like love. Anxiety is activating. Love, especially early love, can also be activating. So the body confuses the two. A racing heart becomes passion. Obsessive thinking becomes devotion. Fear of loss becomes attachment. The nervous system doesn't ask, is this healthy? It asks, is this familiar? And for many people, anxiety has always been familiar. The childhood root very important. This pattern almost always begins in childhood, not necessarily with obvious abuse, but with emotional unpredictability. Love that came and went. Affection that depended on mood. Care that wasn't consistent. As a child, they learn it. Love equals uncertainty. Love equals tension. Love equals waiting. Love equals monitoring. They became hyper-aware. They learned to read emotional shifts. They learned to stay alert. Their nervous system adapted to inconsistency. So calm never felt like love. Calm felt like absence. When love was conditional, some children were loved, but only when they behaved correctly, only when they were quiet, only when they performed well, only when they didn't need too much. They learned that love had rules, and breaking those rules meant distance. So they became anxious not to lose it. That anxiety didn't disappear in adulthood. It just found a new place to live. In romantic relationships. Why stable love feels boring. When a relationship is secure, there's space to breathe. But for someone who confuses anxiety with love, space feels terrifying. Because their body interprets calm as danger. No drama, no tension, no emotional chase. Then something must be wrong. So they unconsciously seek partners who recreate the same emotional instability they grew up with. Not because they enjoy pain, but because their nervous system recognizes it. The partner they're drawn to. They are often drawn to people who are emotionally unavailable, hot and cold, inconsistent, avoidant, unpredictable. These partners trigger anxiety, and anxiety feels like love. Healthy partners feel strange. Predictable partners feel dull. Consistent partners feel suspicious. Because safety was never part of the original blueprint. The high and the crash. When the anxious person gets attention, they feel relief, euphoric relief, but it fades quickly. So they seek more reassurance, more closeness, more signs. And when reassurance isn't given, their body panics. They don't just miss the person, they feel dysregulated. This isn't obsession, it's a nervous system searching for stability. Why they think they're too much? They're often told, you're too sensitive, you overthink, you're too emotional. So they blame themselves. They believe love hurts because they are flawed. But the truth is simpler and sadder. Their body learned love in an unsafe environment. Anxiety is not intuition. One of the most painful parts of this pattern is mistaking anxiety for intuition. They feel something is wrong, so they assume it must be true. But anxiety doesn't point to reality. It points to memory, old emotional memory, unresolved fear, and healed attachment wounds, not present danger. Why leaving feels impossible, even when the relationship hurts. Leaving feels unbearable, because the anxiety says, if you leave, you'll lose everything. They don't just fear losing the person, they fear emotional collapse. Their nervous system believes this relationship is survival, not love. The internal conflict. Part of them knows something is wrong. Another part is terrified to let go. They live in constant contradiction. I'm unhappy, but I can't leave. I feel anxious, but I love them. I'm exhausted, but I need them. This is not weakness. This is attachment trauma. What they really want. They don't want chaos. They want safety, but safety feels foreign, and foreign feels unsafe. So they cling to what they know. A gentle realization. If this feels familiar, there is nothing wrong with you. Your nervous system did exactly what it needed to do to survive. It learned to associate love with alertness. Now, it needs to learn something new. Love is not meant to feel like fear. Connection is not meant to feel like panic. Attachment is not meant to cost your peace. When anxiety feels like love, it's not because you love deeply. It's because your body is still protecting you from a world that once felt unsafe. And that protection can be gently unlearned. For people who confuse anxiety with love, the problem is not their heart. It's their nervous system. Their body learned it early. That closeness required vigilance. That love meant watching carefully, listening closely, staying ready. So even when they want peace, their body resists it, because peace was never part of the lesson. Why logic doesn't fix it? They often tell themselves, I shouldn't feel this way. I'm overreacting. I need to calm down. But anxiety doesn't respond to logic. You cannot reason with a nervous system that learned fear before language. This is why advice like, just relax, or don't overthink, never works. Their reactions are not choices. They are patterns. The difference between love and anxiety. Love expands. Anxiety contracts. Love allows breathing. Anxiety holds breath. Love feels steady, even in uncertainty. Anxiety feels urgent, even in reassurance. Love does not require constant proof. Anxiety does. When someone confuses the two, they chase intensity while avoiding peace. Why healthy love feels uncomfortable. Healthy love feels quiet. There is no emotional chase, no guessing, no waiting for signals. And for someone used to anxiety, quiet feels wrong. They may think, why don't I feel butterflies? Why am I not obsessed? Why does this feel empty? But what they're feeling is not emptiness. It's unfamiliar safety. The fear of losing identity. Many people don't realize this, but anxiety becomes part of identity. They don't just love anxiously. They are anxious lovers. So healing feels like loss. If they're calm, who are they? If they're not worrying, what holds them together? This fear keeps them stuck. Why they stay in painful relationships? They stay because pain feels meaningful. It feels earned. It feels real. Calm feels undeserved. Deep down, many believe, if it doesn't hurt, it won't last. So they tolerate emotional inconsistency, because consistency feels fragile. The role of hope. Hope is another trap. They don't stay because things are good. They stay because things might become good. They hold on to potential, not reality. Because in childhood, they learned to wait. They learned that love comes later, after patience, after endurance. When they start blaming themselves, eventually, exhaustion sets in. They start thinking, if I were better, this wouldn't hurt. If I were calmer, they would stay. If I were less needy, I'd be loved. So they shrink. They silence needs. They apologize for feelings. They abandon themselves, all in the name of love. The truth they were never told. Love does not require self-erasure. It does not demand constant anxiety. It does not punish calm. If a relationship only works when you're afraid of losing it, it is not love. It is survival attachment. What healing actually looks like. It means learning to pause. Healing does not mean to notice. This is anxiety, not love. This is my past, not my present. This feeling does not require action. Healing is slow. It is learning safety in small moments, in consistency, in predictability. It is choosing peace, even when peace feels boring at first. The grief of realizing this. There is grief here. Grief for the love you thought you had. Grief for the intensity you mistook for connection. Grief for the time spent chasing reassurance. And grief for the child who learned love through fear. This grief is necessary because you cannot heal what you refuse to mourn. Relearning love. Relearning love means letting calm feel okay, letting silence be neutral, letting distance exist without panic. It means choosing people who are emotionally available, even if they don't trigger old patterns. At first, this feels unnatural. That's normal. A very important reminder. If anxiety feels like love to you, it does not mean you love harder than others. It means your nervous system learned love in a place where safety was inconsistent. This is not a flaw. It is an adaptation. and adaptations can change. What real love feels like. Real love feels grounded, steady, respectful, warm, safe. Not perfect, not dramatic, just present. And at first, you may not recognize it, but over time, your body will learn. A final message to the viewer. If you see yourself in this story, be gentle with yourself. You didn't choose this pattern. You inherited it. And awareness is the first break in the cycle. You were never asking for too much. You were asking from a place that learned love through fear. And now, you're allowed to learn something new. Love does not need anxiety to exist. It does not need pain to feel real. It does not need fear to stay. Sometimes, love is simply calm. And calm is something you can learn to trust.